Welcome to Mid-America Dirt. I'm Skip, and I am super excited to be joined by Kenny Collins in Colbert, Georgia. Is that correct?
We say Colbert, but I've heard it's called all kinds of
Okay,
different.
Colbert. I got you. Well, hey,
Colbert, Colbert.
well, that's like we live right over here by Arrowhead Speedway here in Oklahoma, and it's in. If you were from somewhere else, you'd call it Colcord. They call it Concord.
Gotcha.
Concord. So yeah, I understand that. Kenny, not only apparently are you one of the best racers in Georgia, you're also putting out some of the best raps in the country.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, we do a lot
And
of them. I've been at it a long time.
yeah, so I'm super excited to get you on here. And how did you get into racing? You come from a racing family?
Yeah, so my dad and my uncle raced when I was a kid, and both, had pretty good levels of success. Kind of racing on a local level. I'm near Athens, Georgia. Here is where I live, and we got Livonia, Toccoa, Hartwell, Winder, Barrett Speedway. They're all within an hour, and they raced at those places and a few others. And I started racing go-karts when I think they got me for Christmas when I was like 6. They got me a go-kart, and been doing it ever since. I don't think I ever took a year off or any time off for that matter. A long time.
Gotcha. I got you. So what are you currently racing? Late
We
models?
race a
Are you
little,
racing crate?
kind of a mix of a little bit of everything. The 525s, and we run limited late model, they call it, and sort of a mix of steel blocks and 525s, and we run that a lot. And we run a lot of 604 and 602 also. And I've still got one super motor. We didn't run that a whole ton. I was driving for the Copeman Farms team there about 3 years ago, and had some differences, and I wound up walking away from that. And I've raced, you know, 18 or 20 super races since then. Just it's hard to budget it anymore. So we can about every weekend we can go somewhere and race from $2,000 to $5,000 with the crate stuff, and we're doing a lot more of that now. It just makes more sense.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of that lately. I mean, racing for financial, you know, reasons. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that.
and
I mean,
I don't really think any of us are making money, but a lot of times you can run in the top. You really need to run in the top 3 of any super show that's even a sanctioned show to at least break even. That's kind of hard to do sometimes, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to go do it when you can go over here and run a crate race and have a whole lot better chance to win or run the top 3, and it's going to cost you a third or less of what it would cost to go
yeah,
run super.
yeah, yeah. So you ran for Copeman Farms? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was the first driver they had actually.
Really?
His
How did that go?
so Brett Copeman that owns the team. He is next door neighbors with a guy named Dwayne Frady, who's been a customer of mine and a friend of mine for 20 years. And he and I started racing together towards the end of I think 2018, and we won some running limited, and we won a bunch of races, had some success. And Brett started going to the race with us and developed an interest in it. Like I said, they're just neighbors by chance, and he liked racing and had drag cars and stuff like that at the time. And he got a little more involved as time went on, and I think in 2022 he bought us a motor and a car, and we raced 22 there. We had some success. We set fast time at Eldora and his stuff in 22 at the Dream. We won a race at East Alabama, Southern All-Star race there that year. And then I drove in 23 there also. Me and David McCoy was teammates. And then right at the end, Ethan Dotson, we were all 3 teammates. I just had a few differences. I got a little, youngest daughter was less than a year old at the time, just a lot going on with business and everything. So I just stepped away, and it sucks. I miss running super all the time, and especially having it paid for. That was nice, but sometimes you just got to do other things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understand. So the rap business, how long you been doing that?
I went into business for myself, I think in '07 when I was still in high school. I had worked for a local sign shop here to us prior to that, kind of part time, and seen it was something I wanted to do. And my grandpa and my dad, they helped me get my first little plotter. We didn't have printers then; it was just layer and vinyl. And I did that a couple of years, and then when I got out of high school, I bought a printer and just I was going to go to school to be an electrician, and I started off doing a little bit of that. I wound up having so much decal work to do that it just sort of snowballed into full time. We've been going at it forever now. It seems like.
Yeah. That That wrap business, I mean, that's pretty busy stuff. It seems like. I mean, I don't see how y'all got have time to do much anything else. I mean, as much as I see y'all put out, I mean, it's a big deal.
Oh yeah, and then the beginning of the year coming up is always our busiest time too. Everybody getting freshened up, new bodies and new proofs and designs for about everybody. I always tell everybody I work every hour I'm awake from January to May, and then we race the rest of the year. But it's almost turned into just working all the time now. So
I got you. I got you. Now, do you do just wraps or do you design? Or do you do other stuff? Do you like logo design, T-shirt design, any of that stuff?
I don't really mess with any t-shirts, but yeah, we do logo design, a lot of commercial work, vehicle wraps. We got a vehicle in here now. We're wrapping. We usually do at least one or two vehicles a week, and then we do the race cars. I don't keep up with a count of them anymore, but last I counted a few years ago, we was doing about 300 a year. So, and a lot of them are
Okay.
reprints and stuff, but we do a pretty good bit.
I saw. What did I see this last week? A Napa fire truck and something
Yeah,
else. That was freaking awesome.
yeah, that was a long time ago there, but we've wrapped all kind of interesting stuff. I don't really know right off the top of my head what the craziest thing we ever wrapped is, but I put decals on planes, and I got one job we got to do here in a couple of weeks. We got to get up on a crane and go about 28 feet in the air, and I'm not really excited about that, but they want
You
stickers
don't
put
like
on, so
heights?
I guess we're going to do it. No, I don't like
I
it.
got you. I got you. I'm with you
Not
on
at
that
all.
one, man. 100% with you on that. So is there something that sticks out in your mind that's been your favorite rap wise? I mean, is it maybe one or two things that pop out when you think about it that man, that was freaking awesome.
It's hard to say. I mean, I wish I could come up with one off the top of my head to tell you, but we've done so many. Um, I mean, we were fortunate enough. I've had Dennis Erb and Mike Marler both win World Outlaws championships running our stuff, which was
Well, that's
cool. And
awesome.
I think Carson Ferguson runs our stuff, and I believe he got Rookie of the Year with Lucas last year. Maybe I'm not 100% sure, but him, and then we did Donald McIntosh's stuff last year, and he won a Rookie of the Year. So we've been blessed to have a lot of big name guys choose us, and and a lot of local people too. We try to treat all the customers the same. We appreciate all of them. There's a bunch to go around.
Yeah. I know Devin Morgan was on my podcast. I know you know him, and his rap for the Dome was one of the coolest raps I have ever seen. Um, I'm surprised it didn't win best looking car up there. It probably should. I saw a guy talking about this on a podcast or something. He's like, only the media should be able to pick the best looking car. I'm like, I don't know about that, but maybe have the rap guys
Yeah, I don't
pick the
know.
best
Sometimes
looking
when you get
car.
some fan votes in, it turns into a popularity contest. But
That's what I'm
but it
saying. And media people don't know any better than a fan does what looks good. But probably what they should do is get all the guys that have wraps, cars with wraps on them up there, and have
yeah,
them decide what's the best looking car.
or go around and let all the drivers vote on it.
Yeah, something
I
like
might
that.
do something like that. I don't know, but yeah, it was cool that pirate deal like we was talking about before we got started. That Kenny Harris that owns Devon stuff, I drove for him two or three different times and good buddies with him. And like I was telling you, he loves pirates. We've always put pirate flags on the roofs and up the sail panels and on the hood scoop with skulls and crossbones and just a little bit of everything. All of them's had something pirate on them through the years we've done. And he told me I had free reign. All right, let's pirate it up. I didn't really have an
Yeah,
idea getting started, but we just sort of, I don't know, played around with it, and I thought it turned out pretty cool.
the hood. Excuse me, the hood with that ship's coming through that arch and all that fire and stuff back there behind it. I mean, I'm going to put some pictures on here when I edit this so people can see this. That's one of the coolest things I've seen, man. That was freaking awesome.
Yeah, it took a little bit of time in Photoshop to make that come out right, but it turned out cool. I was proud of it. It's that one. That one definitely was a lot of artwork time and sitting down and just trying. It's so hard to be different, and a lot of them. To me, a lot of the cars look the same anymore. Everybody's got about straight lines and just one or two colors, and that
This is
dome
the
deal's cool
thought that,
because everybody
that
sort of goes wild
yeah,
with the stripes.
this is kind of like a corporate look. I mean, they're kind of similar. I mean, it's just
Mhm.
I don't know how to explain it, but that car, I mean, that's had some soul. That rap did. I mean, it was telling a story. You know what I mean?
And I do them any way the customer wants, but that's my preference. I like to make them pop, and I like overlays and holographics. And I get, with TV and all, why we do them more so the way we do them now, and try to make them more corporate, like you said. When you got sponsors, you got to please, and it's got to be readable.
Yeah.
But I still think a lot of the stuff's kind of uninspired sometimes. I just, you've been around racing a long time. I mean, I always loved the old school cars with pinstripes and holographic outlines and the big multi-lens numbers, and they were just,
Yeah.
they were all, it was just a different era, and I try to incorporate some of that with keeping it readable and clean. So,
Yeah.
but we're in a
I
good
got you.
era for race cars, because there's a lot of good looking ones right now too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. 100%. And then you wrap my buddies down in Texas, Kobe Moore Racing.
Hmm.
I'm going to shout them out on here because, and then also, did you wrap Troutman's car too, right?
Yes, we do. We do a bunch of stuff for
Yep.
GR. I think that's how the connection with Kobe and them come up, because GR helps
Yep.
them too. So yeah, we've been doing GR Smith stuff for several years, and they're great customers to deal with as well. And I like Drake too. He's
Yes.
gonna be around a long time. Good for the sport.
Oh man, you ain't kidding. You ain't kidding about that one. That's cool because all three of those guys I mentioned were podcast guests, and they've been on the podcast too, so that's pretty cool. But Drake, yeah, I didn't know if he was going to talk a lot when I got him on here, but you get him talking, he'll get to talking, and that kid's sharp. He is. You know what I
Well,
mean?
we need personalities like that in the sport too. Everybody don't have to be brash and uncouth and
Yes.
cussing and crazy in all their interviews. We need guys that are grounded and act like adults, in my opinion.
Yeah, and can go out and drive a car. I
As my
mean, he
dad
can.
would say, when he wins a race, he acts like he's been there before and plans on returning.
I got you. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, how many races are you running a year? I noticed I looked at my race pass before we got started, and it looked like you had 40 something features, 7 wins, and God, it's like something like 30 top fives.
Yeah, we run. I think we ended up running 51 races last year, which we won 11. 4 of them was at Toccoa though, and they don't use my race pass, so it don't show up on there. But yeah, we run about 50. I used to run closer to 70 or so, but with family and work and all, it's just kind of, I try to stay within 3 or 4 hours of the house if I can. Sometimes we'll venture off a little further, but there's so much good paying stuff here in a 4 or 5 hour radius. It's hard to go too much further.
Yeah, you guys got quite a few tracks down there, don't you?
Yeah,
I
Georgia's
mean, you know,
pretty.
you named them off.
We've lost a few, but I have 4 racetracks within 1 hour of where I'm sitting. So
Yeah.
we're extremely blessed. I got some customers in New Mexico that said they had to drive 5, 6 hours to go to a different racetrack.
Golly.
We can
Oh
rain
man.
one out and drive to another one, and if it rains out, maybe get to another one. So we are blessed with that.
Yeah, I interviewed a girl from out there in New Mexico. I think Ashley Buck's her name. She they come over here to Oklahoma every once in a while, and get some of these revival races and stuff over here in this part of the world. So, and I talked to them about it, and it's pretty
Yeah,
sparse over there out west. It
yeah,
really
definitely
is.
spread out a lot more.
I'm kind of in the same boat you are. I mean, we're here in a pretty good part of the area. We've had like Monette Speedway up in Southwest Missouri, they shut down, but we got Arrowheads right over here. We got Salina High Banks, Caney Valley, Tri-State, Crawford County. I mean, we're in a good spot here for
I got
racetracks.
I had never
It's
ventured
not
out that
bad.
way. I've been to the Dome and Eldora, but I hadn't really ever been any further west than those places. I always wanted to go run some Hell Tour stuff, but it just never worked out where we could. Maybe I mean, we always can, I guess. Now, especially that they got the weekly points fund, maybe we could do that sometime.
So what future wise on your racing, you kind of just gonna plan on keep doing what you're doing now, just picking and choosing over there in your part of the world?
Yeah, I have a partner in our race team there, KLR Motorsports, Eric Stiefel. We're partners. He owns one car, and then we're partners on the other couple cars we got. Like I say, we just kind of pick and choose. I don't really want to try to follow no kind of series or anything. You wind up going to a bunch of racetracks you don't want to go to at inconvenient times for you, and just the pick and choose thing makes more sense for me. So I plan on we'll probably do about the same way this year we did last year. 25 limited races, 2025, 602, 604. Hopefully I get my late model motor back. We'll run I like to run that Southern National Series in July. We've run a lot of them through the years and won a couple of them, and I enjoy doing that. You get a bunch of racing in there in a short time span. So if I get a motor back for then, we'll definitely try to hit up 5 or 6 of them because they're all
Yeah.
kind of like
What all
however
have you
many
got
hill
down there? You
to it
got
out there.
Southern Thunder, right? Is that over there by you? Hunt
Yeah,
the Front?
Hunt the Front, Southern All Stars. Ultimate still has some races. We used to run a lot of Ultimate stuff, but they've sort of tapered off and don't have that many races anymore. Uh, Carolina Clash, we've run a bunch of them through the years too. But yeah, and then Ray Cook's got his spring and Southern Nationals. We run a lot of them too. I run a lot of the American Racer tires, so we go a lot of the races where we can run them as well.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about that American Racer Hoosier stuff? You got
I
any
wish
opinion
that
on that?
I mean, I've run both through the years. Obviously, we run a lot of Hoosiers. Our local stuff and most of the crate stuff we have to do close to me is all on American Racer tire rules. So we're running them 90% of the time, whether it's our choice or not. But I feel like they're pretty equal. I just wish that if the national series would ever open up where teams could choose or more, like we really can only have about 2 choices of series where we can run American Racer Super Racing, and that I think that hurts them as far as other people trying them and running them. But obviously they have speed. I mean, Brandon Overton and some other guys. David Payne wins a lot of races down here on them. Uh, Overton didn't last year, obviously, but the year before he was running racers and having success. So I just think there's not enough series tracks that allow them. I think there needs to be a little more parity for anything other than, or the biggest reason is saves money. They're cheaper and
Yeah,
they're just as good a tire.
absolutely.
But a lot of times I don't go to a race where I'm forced to have to buy nearly $300 tires that you
Yeah.
only gonna run one time. I'd rather go run a race where I can run $360 tires.
Yeah, I mean,
Makes a
I've
lot
seen
more
it
sense.
happen. I've seen it happen, where somebody had a race right there close to home, but they didn't want to go do it because they didn't want to have to, they weren't going to spend the money on buying the tires.
But yeah, for sure.
They said it just wasn't worth it.
Now, I think having two different brands adds parity to it too. I think you'd see some
Competition.
night if they would run them on the national series. Some nights your racer guys would be better. Some nights your Hoosier guys will be better. Change during the night. I don't know. I think make the racing better, honestly, but I don't know if that'll ever happen or not. So,
Well, for people who don't know, and maybe even tell me, I mean, maybe I don't know, but Hoosier, I guess, do they pump so much money into racing that is that why they kind of have the lockdown on that?
yeah, I mean, I think they help a lot of racetracks with their points funds. So you make your racetrack Hoosier only. We'll put a little in the pot for the end of the year type of deal. And the same way with the series, you know, and that's great that they give back and put to the points fund, but it kind of, when the tire's $100 more than the other brand, it sort of forces the racers to have to buy that. I don't know. It would, it's all very expensive right now, the worst it's ever been. And that's going to be a problem and get worse every year if some kind of steps aren't taken to combat it, in my opinion. I think that you're going to see people quit and continue to just not. I've seen just through the decal business in the last since COVID. There's been people that I've littered cars for since I was a teenager that have raced their whole life and they've just had to quit. Just can't afford it anymore. It becomes a job and so expensive that why would you waste your money doing that when you can go other places and have a good time and not spend a third of it? I don't know. There's a lot that needs to be reeled in, but it's not for me to do. Maybe somebody can figure
Yeah,
it out.
yeah, I got you. Do you have any ideas? Like, do you have any personal opinions or ideas that you think might help, like local racing to keep tracks alive? Do you think
I
there's anything that can be done on that?
I don't know. It's sort of a conundrum because you get the racetracks, they're struggling to make ends meet too. So the first thing everybody wants to say is, well, we need to pay more. The racers need to get more money back, and that's great. But if the racetracks was losing money and then you're forcing them to spend more money, I don't know the answer for them getting more revenue to spend around is, but it looks really healthy when you look at the streaming side of it and the national series. That is all I think as
Yeah,
healthy as it's ever been. But the local
yeah,
racing, it's kind of hit or miss. And then when the
Yeah,
tracks, I don't think the tracks work. A lot of tracks don't work good together either for scheduling and
no.
things, especially down here. I don't know how it is out there, but
Well, I mean, everything over here is I mean, we've got one. I think we got one Friday night track left over here. Everything else is Saturday. Hard to say what the deal is with that. I don't know if it's just the areas, the population, that's around that area, or somebody's not doing enough promoting. I mean, I don't
yeah,
know.
I think some of that's it too. A lot of times I feel like some of these racetracks, they just want to make a Facebook post and
One a
have you
week.
share it a few times, and that's about it. I don't know. I've had in the past, promoters call me and ask me if I would come to their track and run a race. And I think that means a lot to drivers. I think some of it's they need to be promoted a little harder. Uh, and then two, I think the streaming side of things has hurt it a little on the local level. I mean, a lot of people will stay home to watch the Lucas Series run on Saturday night rather than going 30 minutes down the road to their local
Well,
track, paying $40
yeah,
to get in. So I mean, obviously the streaming's been good for the sport, but it's just, you know, pros and cons of everything.
yeah. It's good for the national side of the
Right.
sport. I don't know how some of the other stuff is doing. Um, yeah, I don't know. And then watching those big guys that are, one of the biggest races of the year saying, "Oh, hey, look, dirt track racing's not dead or dying." Well, I mean, you're at the biggest race there is, saying that, where everybody it's going to be packed anyway. But that's not helping, Crawford County or somebody else. One of some of these other little tracks around. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And it just a lot
And
of it. I think for the racers, a lot of it could be helped if there was a little more tech and some rules were looked at, especially like we run a lot of that 602. Well, I mean, really, to be competitive, you got to have a pretty new race car. I mean, you're gonna wind up spending 25 or $30,000 on a decent race car to race.
so you can't. You have to have an expensive race car to be competitive in the 602.
I'm gonna say that you have to have, but if the best guys, like what happened around us was, so we had 604 for a long time and it was big. We had Fast Track and Crate USA and it was big. You could go anywhere and run 604 stuff, race for at least 2 grand about every week. Well, at some point there, the 602 stuff started kind of growing. Well, it seemed like the guys that couldn't really afford to be competitive, I should say, in the 604, they all kind of dropped back to 602. Well, then as time went on over a year or so, this is 7, 8 years ago, the 604s kind of got down to for weekly shows having 4 and 5 cars, and 602 had 20. The 602 is paying the same. So now they just cut 604 out everywhere. I have to drive 3 hours to run a weekly 604 show, but I can go to 3 racetracks an hour and run 602, which I probably shouldn't be running 602 with 20 something years of experience late model racing. But it's what we have to run, and the races pay good. I mean, we raced at Fayetteville last year. 602 paid $50,000. So
Whoa, nice.
right, so we run third. That got 10 grand. You can't blame us for going and racing it.
No,
At the same
no, and
time,
especially if you're a late model guy.
yeah. At the same time, it's kind of forced the class to not be what it was supposed to be, like an entry level late model class. But now with big purses and the other classes having less races, a lot more of us that run limited and supers running them kind of races, and it's kind of made it where you have to have really good stuff to be competitive.
Why do you think the 604s died down? Just because they were a couple $1,000s higher, or what?
I think, shocks is one factor there. They run double adjustable shocks. So you
Okay.
spend 2 grand on shocks, run 602, 8 grand to run 604. And the motor difference is a little bit, but not much, but just oversaturation of classes. We have a lot of that down here in the South too. You go to racetracks and there'll be 9 or 10 classes a night.
Yeah. Oh, I
Sometimes it
hear you
makes
on
the
that one.
field short.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I've been to a couple, 7, 8 class races. It's uh long. It's
That's the
long, but I
normal.
mean,
That's the normal around here.
yeah. I guess I got to make money. They're making money off the racers. That's the deal. And not, I don't know about the fans. I don't know how much money they're making off fans. They're making money off racers.
I think it hurts the fan count sometimes. I mean, because people look at that and, well, do you want to go over and sit till 2 o'clock in the morning to watch 10 class, especially if you're going to watch somebody specific and they run the last race of the night? Might be
Yeah, and
nobody there when they
it depends
race.
on how like if you got a track with a crappy bathroom, And your guy's wife's over there at the race. She don't want to be there till 2 o'clock in the morning, especially if it's junk. You know what I mean? And you gotta have women coming out to the track. I mean, you ain't gonna make no money if you don't. It ain't gonna
That's right.
work. So, yeah, yeah, but yeah, you need to have your facilities in decent shape and stuff. And I know that's pretty hard to come by in the racetrack world, but I've seen some nice ones. So we got some nice ones over here, but a lot of times they're not. So, um,
It usually works out to me that the worst racetracks sometimes have the best facilities, and the best racetracks sometimes have the worst facilities.
worse facilities. Ain't kidding about that. Let me tell
Yeah.
you this. There's a track over here in Oklahoma, right? And I don't know if you know this or not, but there's mountains over here in Oklahoma. I mean, the
I thought it was
Ozarks and the
all
Boston
flat.
Mountains, they come out of Arkansas into eastern Oklahoma. And
Gotcha.
right south of me, about 3.5 hours, and it's probably, I don't know, kind of just in the, I don't know how you call it, just right on the border, close to the border with Arkansas, but down the middle part of the state. There's a track down there called KMS, Amici Mountain Speedway. This track is in the middle of I think it's the Washita National Forest, is all around it. And you
Right.
got to go up there's guys that won't go down there with toters because they're afraid to pull the mountains to get down there. It's that hilly and mountainous to get down there. But it's one of the best tracks I've ever seen, quarter mile. It is wide, it is racy, but their facilities just aren't, it's just, they don't get enough. There's not enough people that go. They're not in a very good population area at all. There's nothing there. But it's one of the best tracks I've ever seen, quarter mile. And a good racing track. But you're right about that. I
It's
mean,
funny how it
that's
lines
like,
up like that.
yeah, it is. Boy, if you ever get a chance to see that, you need to check that out. I got some pictures of it. I'll send you some pictures of it later on so you can
That
see it. But it's in Bigfoot country.
I got you. It's kind of like that
There's
Tri County racetrack over here in North Carolina. I'm sure you've seen it. They had Flow Night in America, or Flow Night in America there a couple times and whatnot. And that's close to us, a couple hours. But it's the same way. It's in the middle of the mountains, closed in on all sides. They have to promote like crazy to get people to make the trip there. Once you get there, I mean, it's not a dump or anything, but it's not no NASCAR facility. But you can race 3 wide on it all night. You just got to get people to make that trek through the mountains. I mean, serious, like you said, like pig paths to get there. But them are the hidden gems. You know,
yeah, no joke, man. You brought that up, but you're right. That it happens, and that little track down there at KMS. It's one of them. It's something else. But no, I think they said Bigfoot capital of the world was just a little bit west of there. It's obviously a big deal down there. And driving down through there, I tell my wife, I said on the way home, we're liable to get snatched up by a UFO or Sasquatch on the way home. We got to be careful.
I went to 201 Kentucky a long. All right, I went to 201 Kentucky a long time ago, like 2014 or so, when I first started trying to super race, and I didn't have no sense, so I didn't call anybody and ask how I should go. And I just followed this GPS up by Bristol, Tennessee, and up 26 through the mountains. I done locked trailer brakes up and blowed tires out. Left the day before, was the last one there. And I still can't believe anybody can find that place to go to at the race, because I couldn't even find it on the map to tell you where it was at. So,
Golly.
yeah, it was pretty serious like that in the mountains, too.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know what's we got. I think we got 2 or 3 tracks over here that shut down, and I don't know what to do about it. I've been thinking about it, stuff, but I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. I'm going to try to get some promoters on here, um, here pretty soon. I've talked to a couple of them about it. I think I'm going to get some promoters on here and have a multi guest thing and try to see what they think about it.
It just seems like it's hard for them to make money, and I mean, I don't think anybody's going into promoting racetracks trying to get rich. I think they know that going in, that it's kind of, we're hoping to not lose money, which is terrible that we have to look at it that way, but it's just the truth. So you see a lot of guys get in and invest a bunch of money for the first couple of years, and then they get out, and it rotates like that. I know there's several racetracks around here too that are looking for promoters, somebody to lease for next year. At Tri County is one of them. So yeah, it's a problem that I don't know how to fix. I wish I did. I would. gonna take brighter minds than me. I'm just an old racer.
I got you. I got you, man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to see about that. So that may be coming up here at some point. But so, Kenny, I am going to put some, if you don't mind, I'm going to put some pictures on here when I edit this so people can see some of the stuff you've done. Rap wise, it's pretty awesome. If people want to contact you to get a rap, do they just look you up on Facebook or what?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Colin Signs. We got a Facebook page. I think our website's therealrappers.com. It's been our little tagline for a long time. Yeah, and we're a little bit everywhere: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, word of mouth, email. Call us. We take money, checks, chickens, whatever you got.
You take a check?
From some people.
I got you, man. I got you. Yeah, folks. I'll put the link. I'll link that stuff in the description so they can go down and find that. And y'all give Kenny a call and because it's one of the best in the business. I mean,
Appreciate
it's some
that.
of the best stuff I've seen. It is. It is. Kenny, man, I appreciate you coming on here and talking to me. You have any sponsors you want to thank before I let you off here?
I need to. I told you I had them wrote down, but actually I'm typed in my phone and I can't see that now. But mainly I need to thank my family, for like I say, I work a lot, and my wife and my kids and everybody's real gracious to me, allow me to race and pretty much go anywhere and do what I please with that. And I've really been blessed. If I quit racing tomorrow, I've had a successful career and very happy with it. So very thankful for my family. Uh, Car owner Eric, like I said, we're partners on everything, and he's been great the last couple of years. He sort of come along when I didn't have anything, and we've put a good little program together. I think we won about 30 races the last 2 years together. So it's been a good partnership. Phoenix Roofing was a big sponsor for us this year. Purdue Paint and Body, Southeast Miscellaneous Directors. Shoot, I got to thank them. Fox Diesel Service, Divine Towing, VP Boswell Oil. They help us a bunch. Dirt King Apparel. It's one of GR's and Scotty Parker's deals.
Oh yeah, I know Scotty.
Oh yeah, Scotty's cool. Scotty come down here the other day and we wrapped their souvenir trailer.
I saw that. I forgot about that. He had some trouble all the way home. I remember that.
Yeah,
But
so
yeah,
I
that thing.
left. I left, and a buddy of mine called me, and he said, "Hey, I just passed Drake Troutman's souvenir trailer, and he had 2 flat tires on his RV." I said, "Oh man!" So I called Scotty, and I could hear all kind of calamity in the background and wheels dragging the ground. He's like, "I'm just trying to get to Mavis Tire. I can get a tire." Then the police pulled him over, but wound up. We got some folks together, some other racers I knew, seen them, and I think about 8 or 10 people out the race community helped him get some tires and wheels and got him on home. And racers always
That's
help
awesome.
racers.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Yeah, and it looked good. It looked good. That trailer looked good.
Yeah, it turned out real good. I appreciate it. So, yeah, as far as other sponsors, we run a variety of race cars. We got a Barry Wright car, a Savage car, and a Train chassis. Uh, so we've got good relationships with all them guys, and enjoy running their cars. I'm trying to think of others. BSN Sports, WP Racing Shops. That's probably the majority of them. Scott Ray Excavating and RC Performance Racing Transmissions. That's my dad's business. But all of them do a lot for me, and I appreciate them.
Yeah. And you folks listen, if you're over there in that area, man, give those sponsors your business.
Yeah, I better mention Dennis Schoenfeld Hitters too, especially since we're on the
That's
Midwest
right over here
podcast.
by me.
Yeah, he's close by you there. He's helped me for a long time. He's a good guy.
Yep. Yep. Dennis Van Buren, not too far from here, about an hour from here.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I just run him to him at PRI one time, and I wasn't nobody, and he helped me out with a set of headers and has helped me for over 10 years. He's been cool to me.
Yeah, I haven't met him yet. I've heard lots of good stuff. I'm supposed to get down there and check out their place. Go down there and see them and check that place out and get a tour of that place. So I'm hoping that comes up here pretty soon.
Yeah. Are you going to the Chili Bowl?
I'm for sure going Wednesday night because somebody that watches the show, he couldn't go, and he gave me his tickets for Wednesday night. And then they told me yes, I'm going to go. I think. And I'm going to go to the shootout because I've got the youngest guest I've had on this show. I think he was 9. I think he's 9 years old. He's going to be running the Tulsa shootout.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go see
Great.
him, and then a kid I had on last week. He's part of the Warner High School racing team. That it's pretty popular over here, Warner High
Gotcha.
School.
That's cool.
He's gonna race in the shootout. So I'm gonna have a couple podcast guests over there at the shootout. So I'm gonna go hit it too. I've only watched in little mini micro sprints like 1 or 2 times, so I'm gonna go check that out.
I'd never got to wrap a midget, and we just did the one that Drake's gonna drive.
Wow, that thing looked good too,
Yeah,
man.
it turned out good.
Heck yeah, I did. That's
Pretty
sharp
excited
looking.
about that.
Yeah, yeah. I asked him about that midget stuff. I mean, I don't know. He said it was different. He said it a lot different than what he's used to.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. But we're excited about that. I always wanted to go to that. I had never got a chance to, but we might have to make us a trip sometime. I'd like to see it sometime in my life.
Yeah, this will be the first time I'll go. I've
you.
never been over there either.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I'm excited about it. All West Shootout is something I'd like to go to, but man, that's a hard one to get to. It's 13. Gosh, I don't know how far it is from here. Probably 15-hour drive from here, and I won't fly. I mean, the bad stuff that's happened recently.
Oh yeah.
But I won't. I'd try everything in my power not to ever get on an airplane. I've done that for a long time. I haven't flown in a long time. I just don't want to have anything to do with it.
Yeah. I would love to go to Arizona and race. I don't know if I have a vehicle that'll make it to Arizona to race. I seem to have more trouble going up and down the road to and from the races than I do actually at the race.
Well, man, it's I think it's like 15 hours for me, and I'm 15 hours from you. So you'd have to take you'd have to have like what, probably 3 or 4 days just to get out there, unless you take turns driving.
I just have to trade my old 7.3 in when I got out there.
I got you.
Would be used up.
Well, hey, Kenny, man, I appreciate you coming on here. It was really good talking to you. It's good to meet you. And folks, hit Kenny up for a rap. I mean, it's good stuff. It really is. I'm a big fan of your raps, and I appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you having me and the kind words about my business. And yeah, we like your podcast too. I listen to about all of them so far. So it's what I do when I draw. I draw race cars and listen to podcasts and stuff. So
yeah,
it's cool to be on it. I appreciate you asking.
Yeah. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it, Kenny. See you.